everyone, thanks for watching our videos and hope it is helpful for your studies. If it is found to be helpful, please do watch, like, share and subscribe. So moving on to the next question. The question is, what is parts of speech, uh, that is parts of speech tagging, and explain different methods of parts of speech tagging. Okay, this will be asking for 8 marks or 10 marks, so which is very important because this question is asked a couple of times in the previous year question papers. So please do concentrate on this. Question is also very important because this question is asked many times in the previous year question papers. So maybe the chances of asking this question is more, so please do concentrate on this. So moving in detail, first we have to write the definition of parts of speech tagging. Okay, so what exactly this parts of speech tagging? As the name itself indicates, parts of speech tagging means tagging parts of speech. Okay, it is nothing but tagging some parts of speech. For what we are going to tag? For some words, right? For what we are going to tag the parts of speech in general? For words we are going to tag the parts of speech, right? So the definition will goes like this: parts of speech tagging is the process of assigning a parts of speech. That is what I told. Assigning is nothing but tagging. So parts of speech is nothing but it's tagging is a process of assigning a parts of speech to the noun. So parts of speech are what? What are all the parts of speech? Noun, pronoun, verb, preposition, adverb, adjective. These are all the parts of speech. So assigning the parts of speech to each word in the sentence. So the words, assigning the parts of speech to the each word that is present in the sentence. Okay, so what are the input that we are going to give for the tagging algorithm is, so what we are going to give input, so that those are all the sentences, right? The sentences is made up of words. So words are the words of natural language. That is only the input that we are giving. So what will be the output? We are assigning some tags, some parts of speech. That is what the output we are appearing here. So output is nothing but it's a part of speech. Okay, that is single best parts of speech. Okay, and a word can belong to more than one lexical category. Okay, here a word can have more than one lexical category, that is more than one parts of speech. Okay, a single word will not have only the single parts of speech, it may be having more than one parts of speech. Okay, for example, consider a book. Okay, consider the sentence first: I am reading a good book, or I am reading a book. Here book is acting as a noun. Okay, book is noun here in this sentence. So considering the second sentence, the police will book the snatcher. Here the booked, or it's book, the root word is book. Here the book is a verb. Okay, in different situation, in different sentences and in different context, the parts of speech will be differed. That is what here they are telling. That is, a word can have more than one lexical category, or more than one parts of speech. Here it is acting as a noun, here it is acting as a verb. Okay, so not only in English language, if we consider Hindi, the word sona, sona, it is gold. If we consider in one interpretation or in one context, it is said to be a gold, or in another interpretation or in another meaning or in another context, it is nothing but sleep. It is meaning sleep. So this is also the word will be having a lexical category, that is, it is not language dependent. So only the English language is having more than one lexical category or more than one parts of speech. It is not like that. Every language will have these type of what's it, lexical categories, or these type of situations. Okay, at a time only one part of speech is considered, so we find best which suits to the sentence. Okay, at a time we cannot take both the parts of speech for the book, right? So if we consider noun and verb, both the parts of speech to the book, we are having some confusion, or it is ambiguity. So we have to take only one at a time. We can take only one parts of speech, and which is best fits. So if we are considering this sentence, that is, I am reading a book, we cannot consider book as a verb, because in this context or in this situation, the best fits is, that is, it should be acting like a noun. Then only the sentence is said to be meaningful, or it is grammatical. So depending on the situation, we are taking the what is that, parts of speech, and which best suits for that context. Okay, tag set, we'll be having one term that is called as tag set. The tag set is nothing but it is collection of tags. it is known as tag set. Okay, collection of tags are known as tag sets. Moving on to the next slide. So tag set capture morphosyntactic information such as singular or plural and numbers, genders, tensors, etc. Okay, here tags of set will be having singular or plural sentences, or the numbers with the genders. Depending on these situations, the verbs may be vary, or the context or the parts of speech may vary. Okay, so consider the example so that it will be easy for you to understand the sentence. Okay, so first sentence is that Zuha eats an apple daily. Here eats, that is, yes, for a eat is a verb. Okay, eat is a verb, right? So we are adding yes to the eat word, that is eats. Why we are taking eats here instead of eat? Because eats means Zuha. Zuha is third person singular subject, right? So for third person singular subject we have to use yes form, that is eats. Okay, Aman ate an apple yesterday. Here we are using ate because it is done, the action is done yesterday. It's a past tense, so we are using the verb past tense. Okay, so that is why we are eating ate is nothing but it's a past tense. Okay, so coming to the third sentence, that is they have eaten all the apples in the basket. Here we are using different form of verb, that is eaten. Eaten, why we are using means because it's past participle. Okay, it's a past participle, and this eaten, taken, all these en forms, they are used after have or has word. See, it is used after have or has. Okay, so moving on to the next sentence, I like to eat the gawas. Here eat we are representing as a eat because it's a base form of the verb. Okay, eat means have distinct grammatical forms in the above sentence. Here eat is the base form of the verb, it is having different forms in the above sentences. So that is, one is eat, which is the base form. Ate, as I said, it is a past tense. Here in the second example, ate. Eats, as I said, it's a third person singular subject, Zuha. So we are using this eats. And eaten, eaten means it's a past participle that is used after have or has word. Okay, consider some more examples, that is I like to eat gawa. Here I like, this is not a singular, or this is not third person singular subject. Okay, I like, so we are not allowed to use eats here. Eats is used only with a third person singular subject. Okay, so here the best fits verb is that eat. I like to eat gawas, but here we are having eats. It's not a grammatical sentence, or it's not a valid sentence, so it is ungrammatical. So the second example, consider the second example, they eaten all the apples. See, here we are using en form, that is eaten. It's a past participle, so it must be used after have or has classes, but we don't have any have or has classes here. See, we don't have the word have or has here, so but eaten is used, so this is not a valid sentence, this is invalid, so it is ungrammatical. This is not satisfying the grammatical rules, so it is ungrammatical. Okay, if larger the targets, okay, if we are having the if we are having larger the tag sets, if we are having more number of tag sets, means that indicates that we are having more the information. Okay, more the information where it is collected in the linguistic context. Okay, larger the target, then larger the information which is captured about the linguistic context. Okay, applications where we are using these approaches, that is this speech tagging, we are using it in a syntactic pattern detection. Okay, please make a note of this, you have to write this application so that it will add an value. So application is syntactic pattern detection, we are using this speech tagging in syntactic pattern detection. So next, moving on to next. Okay, here I have said that the base form eat will be having different forms of representation, right? Eat, ate, eats, eaten. So the verb is also having different forms of representation. So this can be represented using pen tree bank. Okay, what is this pen tree bank? So let's look into it. It captures finer distinctions by assigning distinct tags to the distinct grammatical verbs. Okay, see, Pentree Bank is going to assign distinct tags, that is distinct parts of speech, to the distinct form of verbs. For the different verbs, it will be going to add the distinct tags. Okay, so consider this table. This is the table. Please make a note of this table so that you can write which form of verb it is. So it is easy for you guys to remember the forms of the verbs. Okay, so VB represents the base form of the verb. Which is the base form of the verb here? See, look here. Eat. It's a base form. So VB represents the base form. Here the base form is what? Eat. So eat is nothing but it's a base form. So it can also be represented as VB. Okay. Then VBD. VBD means what? It's a verb with a past tense. Okay, look into this. Which is the verb that is having past tense? That is ate. Ate is past tense verb form. So ate can be represented as VBD. Okay, ate is the past tense and that can be represented as VBD. So moving on to the next, VBG. It is also a verb, but it is present participle. Look into the sentence. Which is having present participle? Present participle? No, right? We don't have any present participle word. So if you are come across with the present participle verb, you can use this VBG. VBN. This is also verb with a past participle. Look here. Which is the word that is having past participle? Eaten. It's a past participle, right? So eaten can be represented using this VBN. Okay. Now VBP. That is verb with non third person singular present. Okay, this is VBZ. So look into the last column, that is VBZ, that is third person singular present. Okay, if we represent VBP means it is not a third person singular present. So look into the example, which is the word that is having third person singular present and which is not having third person singular present. This is the one, eats, third person singular subject. So this can be represented as VBZ, because VBZ is verb with third person singular present. Okay, this is the table. So what I have explained: eat, it's a base form, so VB. Ate, it's a past tense, so VBD. Past tense is represented as VBD. Eaten. Okay, eaten is what? Eaten is past participle. So past participle is represented by VBN. Eats. Eats is a third person singular subject. So third person singular subject is represented as VBP. So that is why I have represented here and I have explained here also. So by comparing the methods. So next, moving on to the methods of parts of speech tagging. So I'll be explaining the methods of parts of speaking in the next video. Please do watch, share, subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much.